Good day, traders. How are you guys doing? I hope you guys are good, and welcome to this week's segment of our weekly market breakdowns. Without wasting any time, let's get straight into it. I want us to start by looking at USDCAD, and I want to start on the weekly. So as you can see right here, we had this trend going down, right? And the trend has been violated, right? We had a break of structure there. And then after having that break of structure, we created a new low here. Well, after creating that new low, we created a higher low there, right? And then we have this weak swing high right here. So as you can see, there is evidence of us trying to move towards the upside. But then I think one of the obstacles of us moving further up was the fact that we were stuck in this consolidation, right? So we had this low that was created, but it's not really confirmed, or it's not really a strong low why it hasn't taken out this high. So we have weak lows and weak highs in the market, right? And the only way they can turn into strong levels, right, is if they break a previous structure or a previous high or a previous low. So the same logic works with how I grade levels. So for me, a supply and demand zone to be confirmed, it has to break through an opposing level, right? So the same logic applies with highs and lows. For them to be strong, they have to break through an opposing level. So with that being said, I'd say this right here is a strong low. Why? Because the market recently took that liquidity and closed below it, right? What does this mean for USDCAD? I think we should consider the fact that this is still a correction, right? And maybe the market is getting all this ready to move towards the upside. I think we're most likely going to get an opportunity from the smaller time frames. But like if I look at higher time frames, the only zones that I should consider as confirmed are zone number 1 and then zone number 2, right? But technically speaking, the zone is not a good zone to be trading from. 1, because it has a weak departure. 2, because it's already been used up. We have 1, 2 retests already on that zone, right? But yeah, other than that, I think we're going to get a level on a smaller time frame. So let's go to the lower time frame. So like I said, yeah, we have this breaker structure over here, and then we have an order block here, and we see that the market is retesting that order block. Now, my problem with that order block is the fact that it's not nested within a higher time frame. But if you look at other factors, like is it confirmed? Does it have a strong departures? Does it have a strong departure? Sorry, it fits into that criteria, making it a decent level to be trading from. So, sorry, in terms of scenario, I feel like the first scenario will be us trading from the zone. So that's why I think will first play out, right? But if we're looking for a zone that's, at least when you look at supply and demand curve, it's nearer to the demand level, the zone right here fits perfectly into that category, right? So the second scenario is us breaking through this level and trading from it. So those are my 2 sentiments on USD CAD. Right. I'm overall bullish on this pair. So all the opportunities that I'm looking for are bullish opportunities. Let's not waste any time. Let's move on to the next pair. So I wanted us to, before moving on to a completely new pair, I wanted us to review USD CAD. So last time we acknowledged that there was a level here of liquidity And I believe that liquidity has been taken out. We had this weekly zone right here, but the reason why it was in a high probability zone, it was because it was located where there was immediate liquidity. What do I mean by this? Where we had that zone, immediately above that zone was an area where we had equal highs, meaning there was a higher chance of the market taking out that liquidity. So essentially, we're at a point where prices approaching this level. And if you look at the supply and demand curve, we are in a definite seller's territory. What does this mean? It means that we're not in a position to be looking for buys, right? But we're not selling either until the zone right here is in control. So that's what I'm waiting for. I'm waiting for the zone to be in control. After the zone is in control, then I will be waiting for a change of sentiment on the lower time frame, net for high probability entries. But there's still incentive for the market to drop. Why? Because there's still these fair value gaps that haven't been filled. Let's go to the daily. Even if you go to the daily, we have equal highs here. There's incentive to take out that liquidity, right? That's why we're not going to be placing any limit order here. What we want to see is a change of sentiment. How will we see the change of sentiment? If the market comes into this area, and then we see a change of character, retests this level again, and then drop. If it does not do that, that's not a signal to enter. If it does not give us this change of character, then the setup is not worth trading. So yeah, that's what I wanted to update you guys on. USDCHF. We did take a loss on this specific pair of the VIP group, but there is no emotional attachment. I'm not sad over it. But yeah, that's what I wanted to update you guys on. Let's move on to the next pair. All right, now we move on to gold. So on gold, I just wanted to show you guys this. We had this area of liquidity right here, with this liquidity being taken. Price was seemingly trying to push high, but we got resistance right here. And as you can see, price is now dropping, right? So if, for example, we had a demand zone anywhere here and broke through this high, it would have at least been confirmed, right? And that would have given us enough motive to try and buy. But because there is no confirmed level of demand, I'll at least look for liquidity here. So as you can see right here, we have equal lows. So that's an area of liquidity. Does this mean I'm expecting the market to go all the way to the downside? That does not necessarily mean it's a high probability trade. Why? We're still in that long-term uptrend, right? And we're in the correction phase of this uptrend. So the market, unless it breaks through this low, hasn't proven that the uptrend is over. So we are trading a counter trend movement, which is a high risk setup, right? So I want us to go to the weekly. On the weekly, you have this trend line over here, right? Here, you kind of see what's going on. We have an opposing area of demand, right? But that demand zone is not ideally located. Why? Because of the candlesticks behind it. There's obviously a lot of volume here, which means there isn't a strong resistance. Yeah. Other than that, we have a fair value gap up until this point over here. So what I think will happen this week, I think we'll have a correction that will take out this gap, and then price will drop. I'm taking profits at this area of liquidity. Like I said, what are we seeing on the daily? You can see that we had this huge break of structure, which confirmed this shift in sentiment. So basically, as you can see, we're going up and then created a low over here. Obviously, it was not a strong low. Why? It didn't break this high. And then the market created a new lower high, right? So for this lower high to be confirmed as a strong lower high, what needed to happen? It needed to break through an opposing low. And that's what happened. That's what happened. So we have a clear change of sentiment in the internal structures of gold, right? So what am I expecting on gold? I'm expecting a little bit like a clearer correction, right? It would be nice. Is nice the right word in trading? But it would be nice for us to take out these lows over here in order for us to confirm this thing right here as a potential area of supply. So until we get that break of structure, this level right here hasn't been confirmed. And even if price goes and reacts, it's not a good place to trade from. Why? Because of the low profit potential. So just for context, if we were to take this trade over here, this is where I would have to place my stop loss, and this is where I'd have to take my profit. Is it a good risk to reward? No. So even the setup is not worth it. So we need to take out these equal lows over here. Other than that, there is no imbalance. There is, however, this area of liquidity over here. And then this area of supply. So if, for example, price is meant to go up, and let's say we break through the zone over here, right? Then we need to wait for a pullback. After that pullback, we'll take buys again because it's still in line with the main trend. And then we'll take high risk sells from there, right? But yeah, that's what I see on. So yeah, another pair that I want us to look at is EURCHF. As you can see, if we zoom out, we've been in this long-term downtrend, right? We have that low over there. And then we have a high over here that's been taken out, right? Area of supply, right? Which is in line with the main trend, meaning that we may have taken liquidity from the zone over here, from this area over there. And then now we should brace ourselves for a drop, right? Why are we not buying? Because the zone over here hasn't broken any opposing structures. The opposing structures are still valid, they're still intact, number one. Number two, this low over here, as of yet, hasn't broken any significant high. So it's still considered to be a weak low, right? Number three, we have this weekly zone right here, which has a broken, obviously, opposing structures. It's confirmed, it's fine. But this is the first retest. Upon the first retest, what did we have? A rejection. Now, because that weekly zone is in control, what do you want to see on the lower time frame? A change of sentiment. So as you can see, we had this right here. You have this low right here. Temporary low, not a strong low. What I'm waiting for is the market to create an artificial like lower high, take out this low, come back for a pullback to take it out, and then And then that's the setup. So that's what I am waiting for on USDCHF. Remember, we also have this area of liquidity over here. So it would mean that the market was creating inducements with this, right? And then went to an institutional level. And now, after luring retail traders to now jump into the uptrend, we have that, right? Another additional form of confirmation would be us getting a breakout from this trend line, which I think is a little bit conservative, but considering the situation that we're in, might be an ideal thing to look at, right? But yeah, these are my sentiments on on Euro CHF. Let's move on to another pair. So final pair of the week, USDJPY. As you can see right here, took liquidity or broken through this high. Is there an opposing level of supply? We have this area right here. It's the first one, liquidity. And then we have this one right here. And that's the supply level that's in control. If we zoom in, we have also this confirmed level of demand. So if we have a confirmed area of supply in control and it's on a higher time frame, on a lower time frame, what are we waiting for? Or what are we looking for? We're looking for a change in sentiment. I want us to zoom out first and check out potential areas of supply on the weekly. So the only imbalance, although not strong, is this one over here. Right, so as you can see, we've had rejection from this level, nested within a higher time frame. So far so good, going according to plan, but what are we looking for? A change of sentiment, right? So on the daily, you can see that we had a change of character over here, which just simply means we have a break of internal structure, right? And then we have this confirmed nested daily zone that the market is approaching. So what this means is that if we get all the confirmations, or if we get rejection rather from this level, then we can trade from it, right? But we also have this opposing higher low that we need to break, right? And also that's where we got the rejection from. The reason why we're not buying from this is because of where it's located relative to the supply and demand curve. But we need to take out the zone, right? And we need to take out this low in order for us to confirm the new downtrend. And if that happens, where am I taking profit? Let's go back to the weekly, right? And then let's identify a nested zone. This is the first one, and then the strongest one. And then another zone is this one. It's probably weak. You know what I mean? But yeah, that's what I see for this week, guys. That's all I have for you guys. See you guys in another video. Love you guys. Peace.